Call of Duty have just dropped a Modern Warfare 2 launch gameplay trailer. So what we're going to do is sit down and try and break it down a little bit, talk about some of the things that we can notice, some of the things that we can see, some of the things that seem interesting or cool in it. I'm doing this right on a live stream, so I have chat helping me out, explaining stuff, and we'll see how it's going. So first of all, this is the opening shot, and you can see there's one of those big helicopters that we get in Ground War, which I love those helicopters. There's not like a reveal or anything, I just love those helicopters. They're like my favorite thing I saw in a beta. Then at the beginning, you've got like the introduction of Soap, because obviously he wasn't in Modern Warfare 2019, but now he's in it, along with Ghost with his little skull mask that weirdly now looks like it's the front of an actual skull, which is uncomfortable and unsettling, which is probably the point. Then we've got this scene, which takes place in Washington. You can see the Washington Monument in the background. And we were just talking in chat about the idea that maybe this is the idea that maybe we'll get some missions in Washington. Obviously in Modern Warfare 2, we had this sort of attack on America. I think it was Modern Warfare 2. And we had some missions set in America, so that could be kind of cool if they're bringing that back for this version of Modern Warfare 2. It's always a little bit confusing because it's not a remaster, it's more like a reboot, but with a completely different story. Very, very strange. But yeah, I'd like it if we had some stuff in Washington. I thought that was kind of interesting when we had the missions in America.
Oh, he's planning something.
Don't know who's planning something, but he's planning something.
Sergeant Mactavish!
So get the introduction again of Sergeant Mactavish. We've got Soap, and then coming out the back of a C-130.
Welcome to the City of Souls.
And so this is the City of Souls, and you can see there, like this is Las Almas, which I'm guessing means the Souls, and Las Almas cartel are obviously one of the groups in this game, one of the groups going to be fighting about. This is the town where in the beta we had the market, was one of the levels from it. Quite cool, you know, very, very colourful, lots of graffiti and stuff like that. And as my chat were mentioning, like the CGI and the faces and everything like that and the motion capture are so good now. Like all of the CGI stuff is absolutely amazing.
Here to uphold the law and
Slightly bizarre here, like you can see the colourful streets that kind of people associate with Mexico. Seems weird that we've got like a cartel member guarding a balloon stand, selling maybe some popcorn or something as well. That seems a little bit overkill, but you know, maybe it's just that kind of place.
those who resist.
And then you've got Task Force 141 going through, trying to look inconspicuous. Still Ghost sitting in the back with a literal human skull on his face. I guess no one cares here. It's fine. And then you've got this bit that I was like saying to my chat, like, oh, I wonder if this means something. Desayunos, comidas, cenas. And then apparently it means like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So thank you very much, RagM87, for translating that for me. Not something hidden and exciting, sadly. Just a cafe. And then, oh, if I just go back a second there.
Uphold the law and many of those who resist corruption disappear.
Then we've got there. So this is a part of the map that we saw in the Ground War beta. We had this extra Ground War map added in a beta, but it was only there for a few hours before they took it away again. I'm guessing there was some crashing or something. But it was super fun. So this is actually it. This is quite a nice view of it. And basically you can see like down the middle, you've got all of these cars stuck at the checkpoint at the border crossing, which is kind of a fun area to fight through, and you can go into buses and stuff like that. And then you've got all the rooftops around the edge and some slightly more open roads. And then you've actually got a little bit of countryside and some raised territory down there, which I really enjoyed this map. I thought it was cool. So I'm looking forward to being able to play on that again. And this little bit, I don't know whether this is meant to be like single player gameplay or whether this is actually taken from multiplayer or Ground War. I do like this shotgun where it's got like a ridiculous magazine, like an assault rifle style magazine for the shotgun. Seems crazy.
Terrorism is good for business.
And then you've got here someone shooting from the back of just like a Betsy, from the back of one of the cargo trucks. Someone shooting a rocket into a smaller helicopter. And this helicopter has got, I think those are like rocket launchers, aren't they? On the top of it, which is kind of cool. Or can we see a better shot of that helicopter? There we go. Just catching end of it. I wonder why that helicopter's flying so low. That was obviously a mistake. We did see in the first reveal trailer for Modern Warfare 2, someone dangling from the bottom of a helicopter alongside a convoy. So maybe this is part of that scene still. Not really sure. Also looks like this is kind of the location that we see in the Warzone map, in the Warzone 2 map. Because obviously they reuse a lot of the same locations. What's the point of building all these locations? They're only using them for one thing. We'll see them in Ground War and in multiplayer and in campaign and in Warzone. So it's nice getting like a little glimpse of what everything's going to look like. There's a cool spiral staircase. I don't know if that's the lighthouse or something.
There's a war.
And then a picture of Scope looking down the scope. A picture of Ghost looking down his scope. And then here, I don't know if someone can identify what gun that is. Like, to me, a lot of these guns look the same. Like, is that could just be the M4 for all I know. But obviously in a really dark area, so we're going to get some more of those missions. It looks like it's got some bolt cutters in the back or something, so maybe this will be part of a stealthy mission. Not a stealthy mission, we've got a motorbike. I really hope we see the return of motorbikes to Warzone. Like, I really enjoyed them for the brief time they put them in during Black Ops Cold War. We had some motorbikes in Warzone. The handling was all over the place and they were crazy, but that's kind of what made them more entertaining. So here's hoping we get some in. We didn't see any in the ground war or anything. I'm not sure if there was in the vehicle selection menu where you could pick skins and stuff. I'm not sure if we had any of that in the beta, if there was motorbikes in there. Not sure. But it looks like we're definitely going to get them in the campaign at least.
There will be no...
And then that looked absolutely horrific. Was that the motorbike getting hit by that rocket?
As long as there is a war on terror.
Or was that just edited? No, I don't think that that rocket is meant to be hitting the motorbike somehow. I'm hoping not anyway, because that is severe overkill. And then it shows like this. Is that like... oh, it's a plane. It's lost its wing. Getting shot down there. And then someone rappelling in through the roof. We've already seen a bit of like some screenshots and stuff like that from this campaign mission where you're like walking down the side of a building at night time. And then you can see here when they go in, and I'm guessing this will just be an area where you're fighting in.
We've got bigger problems.
And then you've got this thing. Like, I'm not sure what this is. Like, is this a massive rocket launcher? Like, it looks like it's lifted up from there. So a huge like missile launcher type thing, like an ICBM launcher or something. I'm not really sure. But it looks absolutely massive. And I think we might see this a bit later.
We're not 141 and lost for Keros.
And you can see the mission where you're just going up through the canals. Like, is this the Amsterdam mission? I'm not sure. We've already seen like lots and lots of different little bits. Like, we've seen a little bit that's in Turkey, a little bit that's in Amsterdam. So who knows? No, that's not Amsterdam. That's like a massive metropolitan city. Amsterdam does not look like that.
I want to know how many they have.
Anything else we can see is interesting here? One thing that's kind of cool is obviously lots and lots of people. I quite like those Call of Duty missions where you're fighting alongside a big team, or where you're fighting like alongside an army essentially, which it felt like you saw quite a lot of in Modern Warfare 2. So maybe we'll see a bit more of that stuff. That could be quite cool. Someone said there's UE flags over the bridge. What, as in like UAE, like the Emirates? Maybe. Let's see. Some very strange camera shots now, like where it looks like you're looking at very odd angles, so you're upside down.
Y'all got a clear picture?
All set.
These things.
Like, this is a very strange thing where we've got like an oil well, and for some reason the whole thing's being reflected. No idea why they're doing that, other than maybe because it looks kind of cool. Then this is back in that, we're back in that Mexican ground war map.
Preparation.
Lots of shotguns, like a real focus on shotguns in this trailer, which I'm quite enjoying. And a very, very cool reload of this. Again, I don't know guns. I'm going to go on a limb and say this is a Desert Eagle, because that looks like what Desert Eagles look like in games to me. But a very cool reload animation anyway. And then we've got a sniper thing. We've seen a screenshot of this scene before. And obviously Giddy's in the Mist. Is it Giddy's in the Mist? All Giddied Up. That's the name, not Giddy's in the Mist. All Giddied Up was a very, very famous sniping mission. So it seems like we might get another mission a bit like that, which is fun.
These things take...
Then we've got this ridiculous attack on a ground thing, and then this helicopter for some reason not quite being included properly. Looks a bit odd.
Violence and timing.
Then again, more guns. I don't know what they are. And this massive rocket firing. So I think this might be firing out of that big missile launcher that we saw before. So it looks like at some point in the campaign, you're too late to stop some kind of missile launching at a city. Maybe this is going to be like a thing like what we had in Modern Warfare 1, where like you see a nuclear explosion, you know, you fail to prevent it. Maybe something like that. Or who knows what this is going to be shooting down. Maybe that's the missile that we saw earlier, and it's a much smaller missile, and it's just going to take down a plane. Who knows?
I can do both.
Then there's this cool bit where you've got the riot shields being used. It looks like they've got that light thing on the riot shields, which you see Blitz have in Rainbow Six Siege, where, you know, he can blind people with the riot shield. I always thought that was very, very cool. So maybe that's going to be something that we see in multiplayer and ground war, like a special shield where you can like activate it and blind people. That's going to be even more annoying. That means people don't need to use their stun grenades or anything. They'll just use the shield to stun you.
Go, Johnny! Down there!
I quite like that way, where Soap was just like sliding down a bank. I don't know if we can rewind a little bit there and see. There we go. Soap just sliding backwards while shooting. I'd quite like it if that was a mechanic, maybe in the game. That'd be cool. Now we've got all of these strange bits where we're seeing this kind of You know, it looks like one of those Dios de Muertos type statue type things where you've got an actual human skull with like a cape around it. For some reason, very low res. And then they keep putting like the different characters' faces next to it. I saw someone in chat was saying like, oh, maybe it's going to be something to do with Ghost. I don't think this is meant to be something to do with Ghost. Like, I know obviously it's a skull. I kind of get the impression that maybe it's saying like, oh, these people could die, maybe. Maybe that could be it. That could be kind of interesting. These are all different people.
You're the commander of a foreign terror organization.
And here you can see a little bit of gameplay, like, again, like weird camera angle, almost looks like the spectator cam, but really, really nice effects here. You know, you've got the smoke, you've got fire over there, the halogen lighting from the top. I think this looks very, very cool. Not entirely sure what he's shooting at. It looks like everyone's already dead down there, but, you know, still, the graphics look really nice in that bit.
I can say the same to you.
I quite like this line. I've always thought this was an interesting take on Call of Duty, especially the Modern Warfare series, that Task Force 141 do some absolutely horrific, unspeakable things. And it was kind of a theme of Modern Warfare 2019 as well. The idea of, you know, what is Price willing to do to complete the mission? And like, do other people go along with that, or do they sort of like hang back a little bit and say, I'm not so sure about this? I think you actually had a choice, didn't you, with Gaz, where you were like, do you go along with what he's doing of using some guy's like wife and kid and saying that you're going to kill them in front of him? I really like that idea, and I hope they push that a little bit more. The idea that, you know, maybe you're not always the good guys when you're intervening and running into places and killing everyone and firing missiles and stuff. I think that would be an interesting way for the series to go, sort of delve a bit further into that. And then it just talks about that, you know, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 coming out October 28th. Obviously, if you do pre-order it, you get to play the campaign earlier, like on the 20th or the 21st, depending on your time zone, which is super exciting. So I enjoyed having a look through that trailer. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, turn your notifications on, all that good stuff, and I'll see you for the next one. Goodbye.